They mocked a human foreman as they sent him to his death, but instead he came back different. They laughed when Marcus Thane was chosen. A human foreman on a xenoengineering crew was already a joke on half the outer colonies. But sending him into Sector 9, the dig site that had chewed up 3 crews and sent back only static, was a death sentence dressed in protocol. Look at the little pink monkey. When the reptilian Burak snorted, his scaled lips curling. Going to talk the ruins of death? Even the admin bots gave him less than a 5% chance of survival. But Marcus said nothing. He holstered his plasma cutter, adjusted his breather, and strode into the cave alone. Sector 9 had been found beneath the collapsed ruins of a pre-human alien civilization. No one had identified who built it, but the patterns, black metal veined with glowing violet runes, resembled nothing Consortium had ever cataloged. The last team had gone in with power armor, drones, and excavation mechs. They hadn't come out. Marcus walked into that darkness with a satchel, a hard light torch, and something they didn't account for. Instinct. Human instinct. That twitch behind the neck. The way his gut twisted near certain glyphs. The subtle tension of pressure fields no machine could detect. He moved like an animal sensing a trap. And he was right. Twice he felt the magnetic pull of sudden death traps and froze just before stepping into disintegration fields. Then the whispering started. At first, he thought it was a comm signal leak. Then it began speaking his name. Thane, flesh that remembers. We see you. Marcus stumbled into a chamber deeper than the others, shaped like a hollow geode. Its walls pulsed with alien circuitry. At its center, a pillar of obsidian glass. When he stepped near it, opened, not with force, but like an eye widening, and Marcus was taken. They said the human foreman died that day. Officially, his life sign stopped transmitting. They marked him as lost, and the team above moved on. Another body, another tragic statistic. He wasn't important. Not until he came back. 3 days later, something emerged from the mouth of Sector 9. It looked like Marcus, but not quite. His eyes glowed with a faint violet sheen. His skin shimmered when struck by light, as though laced with nanite threads. His voice, when he spoke, had a resonance that made translators shudder and twitch. He walked out unscathed, covered in dust and silence. The Burak who had mocked him, Garcol, saw him first. What are you?" he hissed, backing away. Marcus looked at him. No anger, no emotion, just that eerie calm. Foreman Thane, reporting back. Sector 9 is no longer a threat. He collapsed soon after. Medical scans found strange alterations to his DNA, new neural pathways, and symbiotic energy traces in his bones. The doctors whispered one word. Changed. They locked him in containment. But the walls didn't seem to hold him. He wasn't violent. He wasn't even angry. He simply waited until one night the station lost power. Not system-wide, just to the cells. When they reactivated the lights, Marcus was standing outside the glass, watching them. "Why?" whispered Commander Halleck, a four-armed Ollerite who had signed the death order. "What do you want?" Marcus looked up slowly. "I want to work." They didn't know what that meant at the time. He returned to the dig site, and this time they didn't stop him. Whatever had changed him, it made him better, smarter, more aware. He directed teams to safe paths without scanning, identified resonance traps buried meters deep. He would touch a wall and know what lay behind it. Word spread. They no longer called him the human foreman. Now they whispered the touched one, the one who heard the vault. Echo-born. He didn't sleep. He barely ate. But he worked, faster than anyone, without complaint. And sometimes the ruins whispered back. Then came the artifact. Buried in a cube of crystal beneath a false floor, a floating orb of dark metal inscribed with swirling sigils. When the team tried to touch it, their gloves disintegrated. Radiation spiked. 3 were hospitalized. But when Marcus approached, it hovered toward him, like a pet recognizing its master. "What is it?" The lead xenotechnician gasped. Marcus touched it. "An echo of a dead god," he said. "A seed of remembrance. And it's waking up." After that, things spiraled. Dreams infected the crew. Engineers saw shapes in the corner of their eyes. Architects began designing impossible rooms. One technician carved alien glyphs into his skin, saying they were instructions from the orb. The consortium panicked. They sent a kill order for the site, drop a thermite bomb, bury the ruins. This time, Marcus didn't ask permission. He shut down the landing pad, rerouted the defense drones, and locked the station's AI behind a wall of alien code no one could crack. And then, over the internal comms, his voice echoed, "You sent me to die. You feared I'd be weak, that a human couldn't lead, couldn't understand the depth beneath your sterile science. But the vault chose me. It showed me what will be. I am not your foreman anymore. I am the custodian." When they stormed the station, they found it empty. Marcus was gone. The artifact, too. So were the excavation records. The vault had collapsed in on itself, as though never touched. They tried to cover it up, bury the story, but the story buried them, because months later, across the colonies, strange technologies began to surface. Power systems that ran without fuel, healing machines that fixed bone and memory, weapons that sang before they fired. And in every case, someone had seen a man, a human, with glowing eyes and a voice like music over thunder. Some say Marcus now roams the stars, awakening more vaults. Others claim he became something else, part of the machine, part of the memory of a long-dead race. A bridge between human and forgotten God. They mocked him. They sent him to die. But death is not always the end. Sometimes, it's just the start of something different.